What's up guys? Today I want to do a bit of a different review for you guys. I want to talk about this MacBook 2015 and why I still use it in 2021. The first point that I have to say is how much this machine has gone through in the last 6 years. People were recommending different laptops to me. I started out with like an Acer computer, like a Windows computer. I've never had a MacBook in my life. The reason why I bought this machine was to help me with uni, help me with producing music. I just needed a powerful machine to do what I wanted to do, which was creative digital arts. So anything to do with music, video, anything like that. I just felt like the machine that I was buying would help me so much with what I wanted to do creatively. In the last 6 years, it's gone through a lot. It's gone through a lot of travel. Why I like this machine so much is because it's gone through so much, and this is why I'm reviewing it today. The reason why I don't want to get a new MacBook in 2021 is because I have the iMac 2020 model that can do all of my hardcore rendering. As time went on, unfortunately, as my skills progressed, or just as the computer storage got more full, just time went on. Unfortunately, this machine did slow down with rendering. In terms of Ableton, I always had the issue of when it gets so many plugins, the CPU got destroyed, and basically sometimes it would hit 60% and the fan would go off and it would be very, very loud. Also, there's a heating issue with this machine. So like when you're rendering, it gets hot, like really, really hot. There is no internal cooling whatsoever with this machine. This thing has 16 gigs of memory, has a processor of 3.1 gigahertz, Intel Core i7, the graphics, Intel Iris 61000. But in terms of like what I've loved about this machine is it's portable. It's also got all the right inputs and outputs that I like. It has the USB connections. The new MacBook does not have USB connections. Has Thunderbolt, 2 Thunderbolt connections. Love that. So basically I could use Thunderbolt audio interfaces if I really wanted to. I used to have a Focusrite Liquid Sapphire and I used the Thunderbolt connections. It worked perfectly fine. It's got an SD card reader. You always want an SD card reader because I'm a photographer, videographer, so it's just something that I'm always gonna need to have. HDMI, just for like things like using an Elgato HD 60S, stuff like that, like things that I want to do personally, I can do with this machine. In terms of like using it for every single day use, this machine is absolutely amazing for it, which it should be for the price. I mean, it was $3,000. You should be able to use Windows, YouTube, all that basic stuff, Lightroom, play games on this thing. You should be able to do all that basic stuff with this machine. The only thing that I recommend for anyone with an older MacBook is to replace the battery and replace the power source. So this power cable has been replaced twice. The first one, for some weird reason, the connection, it might have been due to the rendering, but the connection burnt. And also like the coloring of the cable turned yellow, like this one's turning yellow as well. I wonder why it does this. The only thing that I'm willing to change is the battery and probably get it checked out because like I said before, it had water damage. And I want to tell you the story of how I did the water damage and how you could possibly avoid doing water damage so you could keep this for even longer. I put it in my backpack, leaving work, and unfortunately, as I filled up the backpack, it was so full, I had everything stored in there, and I had a water bottle, and I didn't realize the water bottle wasn't fully closed. I put it in the backpack, and I just sat it. As I was packing up more stuff, I heard dripping and I was like, where's that coming from? And I checked the bag and there was water just dripping everywhere. And I literally saw like the ports just filled with water. It switched off straight away to save the machine. And over time, it stopped working for a very long time and I had to do some soft rebooting, but it was just a simple Google search. I managed to boot the machine up and it's been working fine ever since. The good thing about Apple is there are many different service stations in the area. They can open up the machine, check if there's corrosion, replace parts. What has impressed me the most about the machine has been that it survived water damage. I think with every single MacBook in 2015 would have dealt with this, but basically there's like markings on the retina display, and that's from just like smoke, steam, any sort of liquidated air. When it's bright outside, you can actually see it, so it kind of like blocks the view. Also with the webcam, you can still use it, but like it's not really that great because of like the finger markings. For like basic needs, this machine is perfect. That's why I like this machine, and it deserves a review because it's kind of like after 6 years of using something, if it still works and it works to a decent level and it's good and you like it, it deserves a review, right? It deserves something positive said about it. I definitely recommend buying an older MacBook if you don't need like the brand new tech. If you don't need a touch bar, if you don't need those connections, you just want the basic connections. You just want USB, you just want maybe a Thunderbolt, HDMI, SD card reader. It's all here, and you can get it for really good value. You can get it for like a couple $100, and you can get a really decent MacBook computer. Alright guys, so that's my little review on this 2015 MacBook, why I'm gonna still use it. And I'm probably not going to buy a new one anytime soon. I'm really happy with this machine. Hopefully it lasts another 5-10 years. Hopefully it should. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.